It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Orava Brewing Company, and it's just another lemon tea. Literally, it's a 5.4% ABV, 330 milliliter Finnish craft beer called Just Another Lemon Tea. So it's a sour ale. Orava Brewing Company, I think there must be a brewer there, or they must have a massive fan base of people who love sour beer, or it's just the owner or the brewer who's massively passionate about sour beer, because they just keep on bringing out lots and lots and lots of different sour beers. I've had, I'd say over the last 2 years, probably 20 different sour beers from Orava Brewing Company. It's almost like they kind of specialised in this very style of beer. It says, I wonder why, yesterday you told me about the blue sky. 330 milliliter can is probably a famous poem, quote, I don't know. Oh, that was a difficult one. That was a proper tight can to open. We got there though. We want the beer from the inside, don't we? I wasn't going to let that can beat me. Well, listen. Hissy, fizzy. Oh, did you hear that? Orava Brewing Company as well. It's not just sour beer. I've had some amazing imperial stouts. I've had some amazing IPAs over the last 2 years. I want to say a massive thank you to Buddy Visor. Cheers, Buddy Visor, for sending me these beers. They are incredible. Generally, really incredible, top quality craft beer from Finland, where of course the wonderful Buddy Visor and Orava Brewing Company are from. So, I mean, obviously lemon, whether it's a lemon flavour or whether it's actually lemons, whether it's the lemons that they've used to sour the beer, or that they've used lactobacillus, which is a way of forking the malt to not taste sweet anymore, but to send it in a different direction and to send it sour. We will find out. So we got a hazy, amber, lemon-ish-y coloured beer. Let's get the aroma. 5.4% ABV. Oh, blimey. So, this morning, I reviewed Vegemite and Marmite at the same time. Bit of a versus battle. And I was like, oh man, because they're both yeast-based products. But they're so full on, aren't they? The Vegemite, the Marmite, they're so full on in terms of flavour. It's very much like sour beer. It's such a full-on... Some people don't like it. Some people find it too aggressive. I would use the word fun. I would describe sour beer, and it's my own personal preference on this, my own personal thoughts. I think sour beer is fun beer. Like, I like to show sour beer off to people who've never had a sour beer before, and they taste it and they're like, oh my goodness me, whoa, that's incredible. But it's really tart, really lemon-like. Very tart. Almost like you're getting the crust from a tart pie in the aroma, with lots of lemon and sourness. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. God, that's sour. That is bonkersly sour. But I said earlier on, is it the sourness from the lemon? Is it going to be the sourness from the lemon, or is it going to be the sourness from the lactobacillus? I'm going to say it's a bit of both. There's a little bit of sourness coming through. Maybe they've used some lactobacillus here to make it kind of sharp and sour. But then also you're getting kind of lemon sour as well. There's a lemon sour coming through. A natural sourness from the fruit. Quite highly carbonated. Quite highly carbonated. It hisses and fizzes on your palate. But what I love about sour beer is that if you keep on sipping it and tasting it, I'm just in that very moment right now. If you just keep on going with it, sipping it, tasting it, enjoying its refreshing loveliness, because they are refreshing beers. Then what happens is your palate adjusts to the level of sourness in the beer. Your palate will adjust and adjust and adjust and adjust. And you will end up where you're not tasting so much of that sourness anymore. The sourness is not hitting you in the same way. It kind of dies back a bit. Your palate, your brain, your taste buds are getting used to almost the shock really of the sour beer. And then you start to experience the other flavours in the beer. And this is what I love personally about sour beer. I love that initial shock to begin with. But then after a few tastes, I really, really enjoy the bready, wafer-like biscuitiness of a sour beer. That's what I really enjoy about this beer. So now, after my palate has adjusted to the shock of drinking sour beer, I'm getting more of a lemon taste with wafer. Lemon and wafer biscuits. Incredibly refreshing. Fantastic taste. And that's the light malts that they've used in the beer that's offered that kind of wafer, biscuity flavour. I mentioned earlier on 5.4% ABV. It's really interesting. It's really interesting and it's really nice. I think you have to go into something like this with a really open mind. You have to be really, really accepting and open-minded about it. If you go into it thinking, I don't like sour beer, I don't like lemons, closed, not being rude, but like if you go into it with a closed mind attitude, like I don't like lemons, I don't like sour beer, don't bother with this. But if you're accepting of it, and you'll never stop loving and finding new things, like I love finding new things all the time, then you'll probably like this. You'll probably like it. I'm going to rate it. Looks good, smells good, tastes good. I like it enough for 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.